The distress beacon pierced through the void of space like a knife through silk, carrying with it the desperate plea of the Zalathi colony on Kepler 442b. Ambassador Zektar's chitinous fingers trembled as he transmitted the message across the galactic network, his compound eyes reflecting the dying light of their failing fusion reactors. To any civilized species within range, his voice cracked through the subspace channels. The Zalathi colony requests immediate aid. Our supply ships have been destroyed by raiders. We need food, medical supplies, and basic necessities. Our children are dying. The response from the Galactic Council was swift and predictable. The Andromedans offered a single cargo vessel of protein bars for a price that would bankrupt the colony. The Centauri delegation sent their regrets, citing logistical complications. The proud Vegan Empire simply ignored the transmission entirely. But then came an unexpected reply from a species most had barely heard of, the humans. Zalathi Colony, this is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Fleet. We've received your distress call. Help is on the way. Prepare for multiple vessel arrivals in 72 hours. Zektar's mandibles clicked in confusion. Multiple vessels? The humans were a young species, barely 5 decades into their spacefaring era. What could they possibly offer that the established powers could not? 3 days later, the answer arrived in spectacular fashion. First came the UTS Abundance, a massive agricultural vessel that dwarfed even the largest Zalathi structures. Its cargo bays contained not mere survival rations, but a feast that would have impressed the royal courts of a dozen worlds. Fresh vegetables still glistening with morning dew from Earth's vertical farms, succulent fruits from the terraformed orchards of Mars, protein-rich delicacies from the aquaculture stations of Europa. But that was only the beginning. The UTS Hippocrates materialized next, a gleaming medical frigate staffed with human doctors who immediately began treating the colony's sick without asking for payment or proper diplomatic channels. They brought with them medicines that the Zalathi had never seen, nanobotic healing accelerators, synthetic blood substitutes, and, most remarkably, doctors who worked tirelessly without regard for species barriers. Then came the construction vessels. The UTS Builder's Dream and its sister ships began immediately retrofitting the colony's failing infrastructure. Human engineers worked alongside Zalathi technicians, sharing their knowledge freely and asking only that they be allowed to learn about Zalathi bioarchitectural techniques in return. But it was the arrival of the battlecruiser UTS Retribution that truly stunned the galaxy. Captain Marcus Stone stood on the bridge as his ship's sensors painted the surrounding space. Sure enough, 3 Corvan raider vessels lurked at the system's edge, waiting for the opportune moment to strike the weakened colony again. "Sir," reported Lieutenant Kim, "the raiders are moving to intercept the supply convoy." Stone's smile was cold as the void between stars. "Signal all ships. Battle stations. Today we teach the Corvans why humans don't tolerate bullies." The engagement was swift and decisive. Human tactics honed by centuries of warfare on their homeworld proved devastatingly effective against the raiders' predictable attack patterns. The Retribution's railguns spoke with thunder, and within minutes the Corvan threat was neutralized, their ships disabled and their crews taken prisoner. On the planet below, Ambassador Zektar watched the orbital battle through his colony's sensors, his secondary heart skipping beats. When the humans had said they were sending aid, he had expected a token gesture, perhaps a single supply ship with basic necessities. Instead, they had arrived with enough food to feed the colony for months, medical aid that surpassed anything available in this sector, construction equipment to rebuild their infrastructure, and a military force that had just eliminated their tormentors. But perhaps most shocking of all was what came next. Admiral Chen's shuttle landed in the colony's central plaza, and she emerged carrying a simple basket. Inside were items that made no tactical or economic sense: children's toys from Earth, musical instruments, books of human poetry translated into Zalathi script, and packets of flower seeds. "Ambassador," she said, her words translated by her universal interface. "We brought these because we believe that survival isn't just about staying alive. It's about having reasons to live." Zektar's compound eyes glistened with moisture, a sign of deep emotion among his species. "Admiral, why?" "We have nothing to offer in return. We are a minor colony of a species with little galactic influence." Chen smiled, a uniquely human expression that somehow transcended species barriers. We've learned something in our short time among the stars, Ambassador. The measure of a civilization isn't its technology or its territory. It's how it treats those who can do nothing for them in return. She gestured toward the human ships in orbit, where crews were already preparing permanent defensive stations and trade agreements that heavily favored the Zalathi. Besides, she added with a grin, we humans have a saying, today's refugee might be tomorrow's ally, but even if they're not, helping them is still the right thing to do. As word of the human response spread across the galaxy, other species began to take notice. The Andromedans quietly increased their humanitarian aid budgets. The Centauri started questioning their own policies of calculated indifference. Even the Vegan Empire sent a small medical frigate to assist with the colony's recovery. But it was a young Corvan prisoner, captured during the raid, who perhaps understood the implications best. As he watched human guards sharing their own rations with him, he spoke to his cellmate in wonder. These humans, they don't just respond to distress calls. They answer them with everything they have, as if the entire galaxy were their responsibility. The colony thrived. The Zalathi-Human alliance became a cornerstone of galactic stability. And across known space, a new phrase entered common parlance. Don't just cry for help, call the humans. They'll arrive with more than you dared to dream. The end.